Kansas-Nebraska Act in Bleeding, Kansas. Kansas-Nebraska Act was passed by Congress on May 30, 1854. It was passed because territories in Kansas and Nebraska wanted to become states. It allowed people in the territories of Kansas and Nebraska to choose whether they allowed slavery or not. The North was against the Kansas-Nebraska Act, but the South supported it. After the act was passed, people who were pro-slavery and people who were anti-slavery went to Kansas to try to affect the outcome of the election. The pro-slavery groups won the election, but they were charged with fraud by the anti-slavery groups. Pro-slavery groups held another election, but the abolitionists refused to vote. Two opposing legislatures were established. The violence started. The violence was a result of argument and conflict between pro-slavery groups and anti-slavery groups. John Brown and the abolitionists resulted to violence to try to abolish slavery. One famous battle led by John Brown was called the Potawatomi Massacre and occurred in May 1856. Because of the many other battles between pro-slavery groups and anti-slavery groups, the events came to be known as Bleeding, Kansas. The president at the time, Franklin Pierce, sent in federal troops to stop the violence. And since Pierce was pro-slavery, he wanted the troops to try to get rid of the anti-slavery legislature. Pro-slavery won the election and were once again charged with fraud by the anti-slavery legislature. On January 29, 1861, Kansas was admitted to the Union as a free state.